Here in our sanctuary, welcome those at home who are transforming living room, kitchen, wherever you are, into a space where we can together as a wider community welcome Shabbat. Let's begin as always with Shalom Aleichem, page 76, before we light the candles.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamalachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamalachim.
Louise will be lighting candles first here. Feel free to stand if that allows you to bring in Shabbat, or stay seated. Those of you at home, this is your moment. Get your candle wherever you're lighting to bring in Shabbat together. Very nice camera on the candles. Oh, it's a bit of Morris here. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Louise. Let's go straight into Yedid Nefesh, page 78. Let's sit down.
Yedid Nefesh, Av HaRachamah, Av HaRachamah, Meshochavdecha, Eretz Hanecha, Eretz Hanecha. Yedid Nefesh, Av HaRachamah, Av HaRachamah, Meshochavdecha, Eretz Hanecha, Eretz Hanecha. Yaretz Avdecha, K'mo Hayal Yishtachaveh El Mul Hadarecha. Yedid Nefesh, Av HaRachamah, Av HaRachamah, Meshochavdecha, Eretz Hanecha, Eretz Hanecha.
Well, I haven't heard that for a while, and Feels just what we need tonight after this week, this global week of Jewishness, but more of that later. There's something about the words, Yedid Nefesh, our soul's beloved, and perhaps as a piyut it was meant just for that understanding of the divine, but really it's also an invitation to us all to view and remember our own souls as beloved to ours. So let's go to Lahadodi as we prepare for the Baruch Hu. Feel free if you'd like to stand for the last verse as we do the final welcoming of Shabbat and each other before we go into the evening service. Page 82 I'm on, actually, but that won't be helpful for you. Let me guide you to page 91.
Kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat, Adoni Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Adoni Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat
Page 92. Let's respond to Dean as he calls us to prayer.
Et Adonai, Baruch Adonai, Leolam Vaed.
Let's sit down. And as I often do, let me share Rabbi Mark Solomon's poem, that can be offered at this moment as we look at the shades and moments of light and shadow in our own lives, knowing very much that Peggy and Alison particularly like this poem prayer. You form light and create darkness. As time is a tapestry of day and night, our lives are a weaving of light and dark. Like a slow dawn, we discover who we are. Like twilight, we linger in doubt and anxiety. We endure nights of rejection by others and ourselves, and bright days of acceptance and joy in who we are. You make peace and create everything. We look around and see a world of endless change and diversity. As we rejoice in the variety of creation, we come to accept our own uniqueness. As we delight in our own uniqueness, we appreciate all human diversity and live at peace with ourselves and with all creation.
Kabbalat Shabbat FPS
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed.
Vahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol mo'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavacha hayom על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let's sit down as we recall witnessing moments in our own lives of witnessing God, of praising God's name, giving thanks, and of our ancestors, Moses, Miriam, and Aaron, willingly accepting your rule. And full of joy, we now sing together.
מי כמוך האלים אדוני, מי כמוך בדור בקודש, נורא תהילות תוסיף אלך, נורא תהילות תוסיף אלך. אדוני אלוהים לעולם ועד. אדוני אלוהים לעולם ועד. לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, גאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. Tonight, as we offer Hashkivenu, how can our hearts not be directed towards Israel, towards the fullness of all who live there, and really the language of shield us from sickness, from war, famine, distress, keep us from wrongdoing, feels very apt and poignant tonight.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמיתנו מלכינו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמיתנו מלכינו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמיתנו מלכינו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמיתנו מלכינו לחיים.
Baruch atah Adonai הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. Stand when you're ready. Join us in the Amidah, our standing prayer.
Adonai Safatai Tiftach Ufi Agitei Lateva Adonai Safatai Tiftach Ufi Agitei Lateva
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imohot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע מגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, Machaye Ameti. You're holy, awesome is your name. We have no God but you. We praise you, eternal one, the holy God. Let's sit down as we offer, as we sing Vashamru.
Vashamru B'nai Yisrael Et HaShabbat Shabbat Lasot et HaShabbat L'noratam Berit olam Berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafal.
Baruch atah Adonai Makadesh HaShabbat. Page 100. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel, all of us, and in your love accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. And together as we try to hone, focus, consider a moment of gratitude, appreciation in each of our lives tonight. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Sur hayenu magen yishenu, ata hu lador vador, noder lacham saper tehilatecha, al hayenu hamsurim biadecha, v'al nishmotenu hapukudot lach. V'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu, v'al niflotecha v'tovotecha, shebachol eit erev v'voker v'tzoharayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Atov Shimcha, Ulacha Na'er Lahodot.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Hasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Hasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Hasim Leolam. V'tom peinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. B'kol עת ובכל שעה תשתמך. Shalom על ישראל עמך, חסיד לעולם. Shalom על ישראל עמך, חסיד לעולם. חסיד לעולם. חסיד לעולם.
So as we take a moment, all of us, just a moment of tranquility before we sing together Yehiula Ratzon and Oseh Shalom, it really feels that this week the outside world has to come into Shabbat tonight. How could we not have been so caught up with what's happening in Israel and the extremes of participation in the demonstrations in Israel tonight? Just before I came into the service, I saw that even extreme right-wing Jews are joining into the protest. I was hearing the words of one rabbi saying, it's not about left or right, it is about the straight path of justice and how we behave. And I think it's okay for us to be wrestling with this, and it is okay for us to join many Israelis, Zionists, critical Zionists, because all of us, whether we live in Israel or not, are deemed enemies for speaking up against the current government. And we can do the best by supporting those who have an outlook of liberal Zionism, who feel committed to ensuring there is justice and peace and human rights in Israel. And I think the death of those two brothers last week, that then the response, what has been described by the chief of the IDF, Major General Yehuda Fuchs, who is the head of the IDF in the West Bank, he said he could not describe what happened with other than the words of pogrom, that it was a pogrom that the settlers unleashed in the Palestinian town of Hurara. And I think we need not be shy and feel that we don't have the right to talk about Israel here, because all of us who have this strong, complex relationship with Israel are standing cheek by jowl with those who are living there, calling on us to not turn away, to not stop talking, but to be part of this conversation. And we had the most extraordinary conversation last night with one of the NGOs that the New Israel Fund supports, and we of course support the New Israel Fund. I think Paul was there. I mean, I know Paul was there, and I'm looking to see, yeah, Paul was there. It was the most extraordinarily moving conversation. I'm sure others felt that way, as he told us about his community organizing hubs in cities all over Israel, of those that want to work in collaboration and to think more broadly. And I can't help but think that our Torah portion that we'll read this Shabbat Tzaveh begins with the words, "You shall make for yourself a ner tamid. You should bring pure beaten olive oil, and create a light that will exist for generations to come." And I think all of us at different ages remember the creation of the State of Israel. It has touched all our lives in different ways. And thinking of that sense of an eternal light of where we're at tonight, this Shabbat. So I encourage us to just take a moment. If it doesn't feel right to think about what's been happening, stay with yourselves, but just to take a moment now. Open my heart.
רצון ירפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם. הוא עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל
So let's go to Aleinu. We're on page 520 as we think about the world being a better place. I was letting people choose.
Okay. Sorry. Aleinu leshavea ladon hakol, lateken la leon severishit, asher sam elkeinu ve'adet shemo, or aleinu lehanim halukol, or aleinu lehanim halukol.
As we go to Kaddish tonight, we think particularly of those who are mourning or remembering loved ones. We think, of course, of John Fixler, father of Marion Fixler, who died, whose funeral took place this week on Wednesday and on Tuesday, and Shiva was this week. Marion is sitting Shiva still on Sunday and would welcome those who choose to visit. May his memory be for a blessing. We think also of those who are marking yahrzeits this Shabbat. We think of Barbara Slater, wife of Roger Slater, of Bertha Levis, aunt of Josie Kinchin, of Betty Slater, mother of Roger Slater, of Matilda Lamb, mother of Vera Meyer and grandmother of Paul Silvermeyer, of Sylvia Brady, mother of Neil Rosenwebb, of Jaime Schulman, father of Barbara Schulman, and of Simon Black, husband of Raina Sheridan. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we say the words of Kaddish with them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shamei rabbah, b'yama divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'hayachon v'yomechon, v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala bisman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mavorach le'olam amel maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitale v'talal shmei kudusha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirta. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'am miram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya. v'hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Ose shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru, Amen. Let's sit down. Let's offer that final blessing, priestly blessing, Friday night blessing to each other, to fellow congregants, to children, to parents, to friends, between us all.
Simcha Elohim K'Ephraim B'chir Menashe Yisimeh Elohim K'Sara Rivka Rachel Leah Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha yichunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom
So let's distribute wine. So everyone has a thimble full of deliciousness. I was being ironic, obviously, as we go into Kiddush. I saw Monty today, who's very up for Purim tea.
Oh, great.
Yes, very nice to have Monty. What's he going to dress up as? Well, we'll see. When I went to visit him today, he was wearing shorts. So he was wearing shorts and told me some very rude stories as well. Yeah.
So he obviously doesn't feel the cold.
No, clearly. Funny.
Okay. If you want to follow Kiddush, you can find it on page 564. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu B'Shabbat Kodsho, Be'ahava u'bratzon hinchilanu, Zikara l'maaseh Bereshit, Ki hu yom techila l'mikraye kodesh, Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Ki banu v'chata, Ve'otanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, B'Shabbat Kodshecha, Be'ahava u'vratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. That was impressive. We managed that, wasn't it? We're going to have to do that every week now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Daniel's challah.